In this video, we're going to learn how to create this gear. And the reason for this is to let you experiment with all the basic features and functions of Solid Edge. So if you're a beginner, this is a perfect video for you. So let's hop into it. So let's start with Extrude. Once you choose Extrude, it wants you to choose coincident plane. A plane to work. These are planes. So let's say this is our plane. This is where we want to work. As you choose the plane, the menu here will change to sketching menu. So, since we're going to create a gear, let's create circle by center point. And let's click in the center here. Let's find the point. This is the point, the center point. We click there and we drag. And then on our keyboard, we can write 75. This is just an approximation, something. It doesn't have to be realistic. Once we're done with that, we hit on Smart Dimensions, we click on the edge and drag, and then enter. So, now it's black. This means that it's fully defined. We're okay with this, so we hit Close Sketch. Once we click that, we have another menu here and a blue extrusion. So here, there are three main options here. One allows the part or the design to extrude to one direction. The second one allows the part to be extruded to two directions in a symmetrical way. And then there's the third one, which allows the part to be extruded to two directions, asymmetrical way. But of course, we want to use the extrude symmetrical way. Okay, and here you can see the value. So I'd like to type 10 here. All right, once we're done here, we click Finish. So this is our extrude function. All right, now I would like to just hide this, the base thing right here, and show base reference planes. All right, we can see the planes once again. Now, I'd like to create our first pin, or the gears pin, that's it. So, I'm going to create it with Extrude again. We click on our plane where we want to work on. And here, we can just design something. Something logical. Let's say this is 10. This is 9. And here, as you can see, this cross shows the center of this line. And it's not on the center of this line. So let's pick this button. Let's click on this button, Connect, in the Relate menu. We'll click on that, and then we click on this point, and then click on this line. So, now as you can see, it's black again. It's fully defined. Now we hit OK, close the sketch. And here it wants us to choose which direction we want to extrude, and it's obviously inwards. And we're going to use this normal one-sided extrude and extrude it to here. As you can see, it wants to snap here. And that's what we want as well. So let's click there and hit Finish, Cancel. Now, we have our first pin. Now let's make it a little bit cleaner. We don't want this sharp-edged pin, so let's add some roundness to it. We click here. It wants us to choose a plane as usual. So we start here. So let's say we want some roundness to this. And for that, we're going to use arc by 3 point. We click here in the middle. It's not necessary that you do it like that, but I'm just doing it for this video. Click somewhere here. And let's say something like this. We click there and there and there. So the cut function requires that we make some sort of cut like this, a sketch like this. You can, of course, do it like this as well, but it can cause you some trouble later on. So we're going to redraw this like this. Perfect. Now we can even add the values. Let's say 3 there. Okay, maybe 3 is too much. Let's make it 2. And then some radius here. Let's say 12. All right? But this is only on one side. We want the same cut on the other side. So what we can do is we can select this. You see it's green now. It's selected. And go here under the draw and click on mirror. We have selected this, so we don't need to click on anything more. And then we want to find ourselves the line which we want to mirror. And this is our line. So we'll click on that. So this is okay. This is exactly how I want it. Close the sketch. And then the same thing here. You can cut it to one side, you can cut it to 2 sides, and then you can cut symmetrically. But symmetrical button is grayed out because it doesn't have anything to cut on this side. And if you mark it to other side, this side, you can see system error. It cannot cut because there's nothing to cut there. So this is the right one. And here you can see that this is selected now. Cut through all. It cuts whatever there is on its way. There's another function called cut finite extend, which lets you to choose how deep you want to cut. But for this case, we want to cut through all. And we hit OK. And then preview and finish. And cancel. Now we have a pretty decent looking pin, but we're not done yet. We want to add a round on this so that these sharp edges will disappear. Let's say this and this, I want them to be with the radius of 0.5. So it's not sharp. Preview. And also, I would like to add chamfer on it. This one. But here. 1 and there. Here we go. All right, let's actually make it 1.5 again. All right, and then finish, cancel. Now we're done. So let's say this is exactly how we want the pins to look like. Now we can work on something else called pattern. We're going to revolve this one around the whole thing 12 times. So let's go ahead and click here on pattern. Okay, so once you click on pattern, you'll get this menu on which it wants you to choose feature or features. So what are our features? We want this one, which is the pin, the basic design, the cutout that we did, the round and the chamfer. These are the features that we want to pattern. So we hit OK. So now we have to choose which plane we have to make the pattern on. And this is the plane. Okay. Now, what it wants us to do now is we want to design a circle like this, all the way up there, so that it would know what kind of pattern we want. So in this case, we want circular pattern, correct? So we choose this here, circular pattern. If we want to make a rectangular pattern, we choose this one instead, and it will make a rectangle. But this case, let's choose the circular pattern again. We click in the center, and then we drag it all the way to this center. All right. And here you can see how many it will do. And we wanted to have 12 anyways. So let's have 12. We can experiment with this value later on. And here you can see there's an arrow. It asks you which direction do you want to pattern. And let's say clockwise. Once we're happy with this, we close the sketch. And now we have our gear. Of course, I don't like the distance here. I will make it a little bit more realistic. So let's hit finish. And let's go back to pattern. We right click on it. And then we edit definition. And then we go here. And then we click on this, the orange color part. And then let's make it 16. And hit enter and then close. Let's see how it's gonna look like. Okay, this is better, right? This is a better design. So let's hit finish and we're happy. Now what we want to do is experiment with other functions as well. Let's start with cutting in the middle. Let's have it 50. And then smart dimension it. And then hit OK. And close the sketch. So we want to cut something like this. And now what I want to do is I want to use revolve and revolve cut functions. So let me show you what it does. I will start with revolve cut. Okay. But to do that, we need to cut this design from the center, just not the design itself, but just side view. We have to start doing the side view here. So we go to the view menu and then we press on set planes and then we click there and then we drag it all the way out and then we drag it back inwards to here somewhere. 2.0. Perfect. And then finish. Now what we have is cross section of the gear. So here you can see it says on. So if we click on this, it's off now. The gear is back. So we're not actually modifying this design, but we're changing the perspective or the view. So we can now start working. So let's go home and then choose Revolve Cut. And then we choose this plane. It wants to choose the other one, but let's go back here. And let's say we want to cut a circular pattern or a donut shape something that is like 2 millimeters in diameter. Okay. Let's modify that as well so that it will be right there. Let's say 5. Okay. So we fully defined it. Now it's black. So now we have our sketch done, right? But if we click on close now, it will show an error. The error is revolved features must have an axis of revolution defined. Of course, because this is cross section. This circle will revolve in a donut shaped thing. Okay? So where should we revolve it? We want to revolve it around this line, this axis. Okay, what can we do? We can go and choose axis of revolution and then choose that. As you can see, it turned to blue. And then we click on close the sketch. And we can revolve it like this. Alternatively, we can revolve 360. So, and then we hit finish and then cancel. So now as we're done with this, we can go to view again and then hit on off. Now there are more things that I want to explore here. For example, let's go home. I'd like to create a hole here, a cutout. Okay. Right here. Let's say I want to create a hole with 3 millimeters in diameter. And now we put a distance to it. Here, there is another option called distance between. This is between points. So let's say this point to that point, and then we click on Shift so that it will drag like this. All right, let's say 35. Okay, perfect. Now we hit OK, and let's do the cut. All right, preview, finish, cancel. Now we have a cut. Let's add chamfer to it as well. This time let it be 1. Perfect. Done and finish. Now, what I want to show you is the draft function. Let's hit draft. It wants us to choose a coincident plane once again, and this time I will choose this one. And then it wants us to choose a chain. So a chain could be a circle or the cylinder or anything. This could be a chain. But in this case, we would like to choose this cylinder. And then here it wants us to choose an angle. So what will this function do? Let's say 2. Hit OK. Next, this function will create angle, will create conic shape of hole. So if we look straight from upward, you can see that this hole is smaller than that hole. We can even check it. Let's hit finish and hit OK. We can even inspect it. Here is inspect menu where you can experiment with different things. Let's choose smart dimensions. This is 3.7 and this is 3. So perfect. Of course, we're not done here. There are more functions to explore. For example, we want to create a pattern on these, but not through the whole way. We just want it to be from here to here. Okay, so we go to pattern, we choose this one. But to use this one, we need a curve. So let's start sketching. So you press on sketching and then a coincident plane. And then we can choose arc by center point. So let's hit that and then find the center point of the wheel and then the center point of this hole and then create an arc of 90 degrees. Okay, here we go. Now we close the sketch and finish and cancel. Now that we have a curve, we can work with pattern along curve. So let's click that. Let's select our feature. Just like last time, we select this one and that one and the cutout itself. All right. And then we hit OK. And then we choose the chain. OK. And then it wants us to choose an anchor point from where you want it to start from here or from there. So let's choose this one. This is our anchor point. And that's the direction. We hit OK. So let's say we don't want 6, we want 5. Okay. Preview, finish. Perfect. Now, what if we want these to reflect here as well? So logically, we would use the mirror function, but the mirror function requires a plane to work on. So let's create a plane intersecting here. So you go down here, it says planes, and then you choose that one, and then you choose angled. So we choose angled plane. So angled to which plane? This plane and this plane. And then here you choose the angle you want. Let's choose 45 degrees angle. And hit OK. And then click. So we're done there. And now we will choose mirror. Once again, you click on mirror. It wants you to choose the feature. So here we have to choose the pattern and the original one. 1, 2, and 3. Of course, I'm doing this with control. So we hit OK. And then we choose the plane. There we go. It reflects to the other side. Perfect. Now, after we're done here, we want to write our name somewhere, right? Like this is our gear. So let's do that. So let's go back to cut again. And let's hit on this coincident plane. And then what we can do is we can create an arc by center. We find the center here. And then we find the center of that circle and that circle. Now let's go to tools. Here, there is text profile. You click on that. You write your name or whatever you want. And hit OK. And then you just bring it here and it will automatically snap. But of course, it's not snapping the way I want. I want my name to be centered, or the name to be centered. How can I do that? You go here, text profile anchor, and then you click on center. So once you bring it here, it will automatically center itself. Perfect. Now that's done. We hit OK. There's something wrong. Disconnected elements. Connect elements or close individual profiles. Okay, let's click on that. And then you can say profile error assistant. This is very useful so that you see what is wrong. Here, it's complaining, the program is complaining that this part is not a part of that part. And if we're going to cut, it gets confused. Which part do you want to cut? That's why you go to home here, and then you convert this line to a construction line. So you click on that, and then you click on construction line, and then close the sketch. And now we can cut it through all, preview, finish, and cancel. Perfect. I like what this looks like. Now what we can do is we can mirror it to the other side as well. So let's choose the angled again. This and that plane. And then let's snap it like this, 45 degrees. And click. Let's do this again. Mirror. This cutout. And mirror to that direction. Perfect. Finish. And once we're done here, we can even click on these so that all the sketches or all extra planes will disappear. This is our gear. One more thing we can do is we can add material now. Let's click on material here, right click, and then let's say it's aluminum. Now we're done. If you find this video useful, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what I can improve for the next video. And also, please let me know what you want me to do on the next video, which features to use. There are many other things that we have to explore. Alright, until then, have a good one.